The world watched in shock and disbelief as tensions between India and Pakistan, two nuclear-armed neighbors, flared once more. On May 6, 2025, India launched airstrikes against targets within Pakistan, marking a significant escalation in the long-standing conflict between the two nations. This operation, codenamed Operation Sindoor, sent shockwaves across the globe, raising fears of a wider conflict and highlighting the volatile nature of the region. The strikes were not a surprise to many who had been following the situation closely. Tensions had been simmering for months, with both sides accusing the other of harboring and supporting terrorist groups operating within their borders. The attack on Pahalgam just 2 weeks prior proved to be the tipping point, pushing India to take decisive and potentially dangerous action. The world held its breath, hoping for a measured response from Pakistan while bracing for the possibility of a retaliatory strike. The spectre of war loomed large, a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the ever-present threat of nuclear confrontation. The picturesque valley of Pahalgam, nestled in the Himalayas of Indian-administered Kashmir, became the epicenter of a tragedy that would have far-reaching consequences. On April 22, 2025, a group of terrorists attacked a convoy of Indian tourists, unleashing a wave of violence that left 26 people dead and many more injured. The attack sent shockwaves across India, evoking memories of past atrocities and igniting public outrage. The government, facing immense pressure to respond decisively, immediately pointed the finger at Pakistan, accusing it of harboring the perpetrators of the attack. India claimed that the Islamic Resistance Front, a militant group with known links to the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, was responsible for the carnage. The attack, they argued, was a clear act of terrorism, planned and executed with the support of elements within the Pakistani establishment. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement in the attack, calling the accusations baseless and inflammatory. Despite their denials, the die was cast. The Pahalgam attack had crossed a line, pushing India to the brink and setting the stage for a dangerous escalation in the decades-old conflict. In the early hours of May 6, 2025, the roar of fighter jets pierced the pre-dawn silence. Operation Sindoor, India's response to the Pahalgam attack, was underway. Indian Air Force Rafale jets, armed with Scalp missiles and AASM hammer bombs, took to the skies, their targets carefully chosen: terrorist camps and infrastructure located deep within Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The strikes were swift and precise, lasting just 23 minutes, according to Indian officials. 9 locations were targeted, including Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Bahawalpur, and areas within Punjab. The Indian government insisted that all targets were terrorist-related and that meticulous care was taken to avoid civilian casualties. The strikes sent a clear message. India would no longer tolerate attacks on its soil and was willing to take the fight to the enemy, even across the line of control, the de facto border dividing the disputed region of Kashmir. The operation was met with a mix of apprehension and jubilation in India, with many praising the government's decisiveness while others feared the potential for a catastrophic escalation. In the wake of Operation Sindoor, the world found itself on edge. Global leaders called for restraint, urging both India and Pakistan to avoid further escalation and seek diplomatic solutions. The United Nations convened an emergency session, with member states expressing deep concern over the potential for an all-out war between the two nuclear-armed nations. In India, the government faced both praise and criticism. While many hailed the decisive action, others warned of the dangers of provoking a nuclear-armed neighbor. Pakistan, on the other hand, vowed to defend its sovereignty and promised a measured response. As the world watched and waited, the fragile peace in South Asia hung in the balance. The events of May 6, 2025 served as a stark reminder of the delicate nature of international relations and the ever-present threat of conflict in a world bristling with nuclear weapons.